Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Vineyard Collective podcast. My name is Samuel Warden. I am one of the hosts. The Vineyard Collective podcast has been created to have everyday conversations with people. It's a chance where we get to slow down, have conversations about creativity, healing, prophetic, whatever it is, you name it, we'll talk about it. So come join us. We love you guys. We'll see you on the podcast. Hey, what's up? Welcome to this week's podcast. My name is Samuel. I am one of the hosts. Today, I'm joined behind the man behind the cameras. All the videos you see, or the majority of them, I should say, is shot by Richard Ndembe. What up, bro? Welcome to the podcast.
How are you doing?
You're so weird, bro. Rich is usually like behind.
No, straight up.
Straight up, for real.
It's a whole team, you know what I'm saying?
So you got Lindsay, you got Rye Guy over here.
You got Ryan. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks for your help today.
Ryan, thanks for filling in, my guy.
And a creative team, you know what I'm saying? It's the logistics behind, all this stuff is like, it'd be a lot, you know, for just one person.
It's crazy.
So yeah, it's a team effort.
100%.
I love it.
Yeah.
Low key, I watch a lot of podcasts.
Bro,
I love how they always adjust.
Yeah, they're just like, hey. And so what we got to say today is...
We're actually live right now, so I got to remember that.
But yeah, bro. So no, dude, for real though, you came in, video game has really gone up. I think you're a pioneer with creativity. I think Ryan and Lindsay would probably agree you're an amazing addition to the team. We love you. I personally have love for you. We go back about 6 years?
We go back like 4 flats on a Cadillac.
4 flats on a Cadillac.
It was a Cadillac with 4 flats.
5 to 6 years. We've been through a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Been through a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of mids, But bro, let the people know about you, bro. Where are you from? Where were you born? Are you married? Do you have kids? Why are you so good looking?
You're far too kind. I was born and raised in Kenya.
Okay.
My heritage is the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay.
The DRC. And I grew up in Ethiopia, as I put it. A lot of my childhood memories are between Kenya and Ethiopia.
Okay.
Never had the privilege of growing up in Congo, but all my extended family's from Congo.
Okay.
So those are 3 countries that I represent.
How many languages do you speak?
I used to speak a lot, but I understand more than I speak.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand, and I can get around.
You can get by.
I get by with French.
Okay.
If I was in France, I could, get around. So French, Swahili, Kenya, and Kikongo.
Okay.
That's the language I speak with my parents, and even that.
But I feel like every time I'm around your family, you guys flow in and out of like 3 or 4 different languages.
It'll go between French, English, and Kikongo. Definitely. Okay. Yeah. But for the most part, my household is it's all English and baby talk.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So how many kids do you have? I mean, you're married.
Yeah.
Me. Married to,
Married to the great Cassandra. Yeah.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
2 kids.
2 kids. What's their names?
Hey man, I ain't finna put the business out there like that.
Childish, bro.
I'm childish. I apologize. Javin's my oldest. And Jonah.
Javin's a stud, bro.
Yeah, man. He's a good looking kid.
He is.
Yeah.
Bro. Man, today I wanted to bring you on, bro, because I think you have such a unique eye. Like this whole new kind of look to the podcast this week. You thought of it.
Saucy.
You're like, let's go with it. You didn't even say anything. You're like, I got an idea. And that's how you know when Rich has like a creative idea is like, hey, bro, I got an idea. But bro, one of the things I want to talk about, we're going to entitle this podcast, we're going to call it Prophetically Programmed.
Okay.
And I think one of the misconceptions with like creative cultures or creative churches or really anyone pressing into the creative is you've got to be super like on the whim, or you have to be super structured to where like nothing can change. But I feel like I've seen you kind of find the middle ground because not only do you work at the church, but you have your own creative studio, like you have your own creative company and stuff like that. So what do you think about that being like prophetically programmed, like when it comes to creativity?
Man, it's a
toughie to start, but I think it's a good question.
I mean, I'm going to answer it the way that I see it.
Yeah.
I think that light's not on. That's my fault.
That's it right there.
No, I think it starts with, I think it's just people, you know what I'm saying? People are all different. And depending on the project that you're working with, primarily you're going to be managing, people and their ideas and how to bring that to life. So I low-key might have forgotten your question.
It's all right.
But I know how to,
prophetically programmed. Like, how do you find between like being super structured but also being like super on the whim? Because I think a lot of times I think the fault is you fall to one side of the ditch. Like you don't, either you have no structure and everyone's like, this is taking 15 hours to do. Yeah. Or you have so much structure that like someone has a great idea and you're like, well, we can't change it because we're structured. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's
so how do you find the middle ground?
That's kind of what I was getting at is, it's as you're working with people, like I feel like it just, it comes up because it is a pitfall to be in one or the other.
Yeah.
But you yourself have to have some kind of structure, some kind of way that you govern yourself. But when you're working in this medium, like I said at the beginning, there's like ideas that come from Ryan and Lindsay and the rest of the creative team, and it's you lay that aside. But all right, cool. Let's figure out how to work this out. Yeah. And personal structure is going to be personal structure. Yeah. And that's me personally, like, you're right. I haven't thought about that, but yeah, I mean, I don't just say this is just one way to do it. Yeah. And I'm also not like,
this is the only way.
Yeah. So it's like,
yeah, I think one of the things that I've found with you, bro, is like, it's just so like awesome to watch is like when someone's like, hey, can we do this? You're like, sure. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily like you're gonna be like, well, there's only one way to do what you just asked. Mm-hmm. You're like, let's find the best solution to get like what you get across. And I think being creatives, like we can be sensitive, right? You and I joke all the time. I'm sensitive about my work. You know what I mean?
I'm an artist, and I'm sensitive
about my work. But I think one of the things like being a creative is like making sure like you don't get so sensitive that no one wants to pitch you your idea, like their ideas.
Yeah, I mean that's so.
So how do you work on that?
So as far as creatives are concerned, it's just like you're not gonna like work on something half-heartedly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, especially like,
there's no way you can as a creative.
Yeah, once you like, I've had other jobs. I've worked a lot of other jobs, right? And I wasn't.
We DJ'd together.
You see what I'm saying?
We read like basketball together. Should we go back in the day like that?
We go back. I mean, working. What was that? I don't want to say his name, but what were we doing with
home remodeling?
Yeah, just like side stuff. You're not always in it like that, but when you find like a creative expression, right? As the artist or producer, you're primarily like you're doing it because you love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that as a motivator, just kind of sets the tone, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So what are some ways, bro, that help you stay like inspired creatively? Like what are some things that you're looking at that helps your brain keep going? I mean, I know you look everywhere, but
straight up, like
is there any constants, like constant 3? Like for me, it's like Nike, Fear of God, or Jordan.
Vimeo, YouTube, Pinterest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vimeo, YouTube, Pinterest.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's literally like those are the things I rotate. Kind of like for like general themes, like ideas. Like I scour Pinterest.
Yeah. Dude, Pinterest is so. Whoever created that,
it's dope.
Genius.
They balling. Oh, yeah. And like. Video, like I also subscribe to like tutorial, like Skillshare and stuff like that.
Skillshare for real?
Yeah, straight up.
Dude, heck yeah.
Shout out.
You want to sponsor this podcast again?
No, but so those are the different avenues. But going back to something that you said earlier about
back in the day,
just about like being sensitive and like criticism and stuff like that. You got to protect yourself as the creator. Yeah. So it's like who you expose yourself to criticize your stuff is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And understand like who you're talking to and understand who the criticism is coming from. You feel me? Because like not everybody knows about what they're talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there are people who do.
Yeah. It could just be opinion too.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
My eye doesn't see it this way. Yeah, okay, cool.
Differentiating the two is important. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everybody got an opinion.
Yeah. We all got opinions.
You know what you can do with that.
Use it. But for real, bro, like, so, in the prophetic, right? You're highly prophetic. You've spoken into both mine and my wife's life, and so is your wife. Like,
church.
Super huge ways. But I think creating things, like, we don't understand that we're pulling the future into the present. So as we create, we're taking ideas from your mind that don't exist in the realm. Essentially what God did with the earth. Exist in his mind, spoke into existence. We're doing that with like our hands or with our cameras or with our eyes, whatever. What are some ways that you feel like just the church world, being supernatural disciples, kind of a thing, like everyday encounter people, like how can we pull that creativity, that prophetic stuff in normal everyday life, like as creatives? So I think oftentimes we're like, we have a project, we have to get the project.
Yeah.
But how do you like pull that in like every day? Like the prophetic creativity, that whole thing.
I love the pauses, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to
the pause, because everyone's like, oh, he don't know, but he thinking.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give somebody a second to think. Well, you know, without thinking about it too much, I'd say it's like, I guess just understanding the realm that we're in.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like how we move.
Yeah. So talk to me about that. The realm that we're in, how we move. What do you mean?
Well, the way I see it,
okay.
You know, the way I see it is one, you know, you can't take yourself too seriously. We don't have all the answers.
Right.
I don't have all the answers, at least. But we do inhabit two realms at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We're physical and we're spiritual, right? We're amphibians of sorts. And so amphibians are very sensitive to what's happening in their environment, right? Because what is it? They're like cold-blooded, right? So like they get their heat from where they are. Anyway, to science, I don't know all that stuff. At any rate, we are keen to what's happening in the spiritual realm. Yeah. Right. We don't always have the language to communicate it, but that's where the trust comes in. Right. We are walking day to day with the Father. Right. It's a relationship, and you know how He speaks to you. Everybody has their different way that the Father communicates with you. You know, that you move with the Spirit, and you know, straight up, I don't always know. When it's happening. Right. That's the faith walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in retrospect. Well, you know what I'm saying? If I don't know what the Father's going to do, I look at what He's done. Right? And it's like, good. All right, cool. Okay. When I'm in it, I'm just trusted. You know, I have the mind of Christ. I know I'm not going to cuss anybody out for no reason, right? Like, I move, you know, honor and dignity, because that's, you know, that's who my daddy is. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, there's certain guardrails, but as far as like knowing exactly what's happening at the moment, I might not be there yet. You know, I know you're super sensitive. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is doing this right here, right now. You know, that's happening.
No, I think one of the things you said though is like, if you don't know what He's doing, you look at what He's done. Now, I think as creatives, it's so easy to like just disregard like old stuff. So like, one of the things that you and I keep talking about with the podcast is it needs to just be better. Not because we don't like what it's been or that anybody's done a better job.
But we know there's more.
But we know there's more that we haven't tapped into.
Always got to push the envelope.
But how that, for me, how that's worked is I look at old episodes. Right? So I don't just throw them out because I'm saying we need to improve.
Yo, low-key side note. And anyway, your wife might appreciate this. Shout out. Kirsten. I make music too, right? I enjoy making music.
Hey, he finally said it. Right? He's a music producer.
But you go back and listen to stuff that you were making, like like when we were at, you know, when we used to
rap in the townhouses. You know what I mean?
I was like, man, some of this stuff was really good.
Right.
But at the time, it was just like, it's cool.
It's okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you go back and it's like, whoa, I was actually talking about some things. There was a lot of potential there. Oh my goodness. So I was just, the idea of looking back, I mean, the Lord is always doing things. You know what I'm saying? He's always moving. We don't always see it at the time, but like, you look back, you're like, yo, man, like, He was in there.
And I think that's the cool thing about like, just like being prophetically programmed is like, it's in us. When you say it's in you. And so like, when I go look back at like, so a prime example for me is like, I go back and look at the podcast. I think, man, that was dope. Like, right. It was fun. It was a new idea coming to life. Like, we're and I look at the present and I'm like, we could keep doing this and it will work. But then in my mind, I go like, but what would the future look like? Like, you know what I mean? And I think as kingdom people, like, especially with everyday encounters, like when I'm doing my everyday things, my mind is instantly like triggering, like, what could tomorrow look like?
Tomorrow look like what we make it.
Right? But like for real though, like I think that's huge. Like one of the ways I find creativity is through my daughter Cadence, K-Dot. You've called her K-Dot since day one.
Yeah, from day one, K-Dot.
And I mean, she can be a little wild, you know what I'm saying?
Can't say that, but
she'll be like drawing some pictures or doing something crazy, and her pictures will be absolutely nothing to me. And when you ask her what it looks like or what it is,
she knows exactly what it is.
She's like, oh, that's you, that's me, and I'm like, oh, man, that's like 4 lines. Like, you just made a square. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
But I think that when you say like we don't always know what he's doing. Sometimes it's just drawing out the lines that we see him doing.
That's good.
The color schematics, the thought process.
Yeah.
And I see you do that so naturally. That's why I want to press into it, bro. It's like with this podcast, like this whole kind of new vibe, right? Like we both over the break just said like, hey, we want to do. We shot one with Clay, last week, and we're like, yo, we kind of want a different vibe. And you're like, hey, I got some ideas.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. It's like as you're doing stuff, the everyday encounters, you're starting to see like the color schematics of God go by.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like we watch a lot of podcasts, but we're like, that's not what ours looks like. Like, you know what I mean?
Check this out.
So, yeah, real spill. Go.
Man, like what you're talking about with cadence is so beautiful because like the concept of messing up is not there.
Right.
She doesn't think it's got to look a certain way now. When she's like,
I ain't getting it tattooed on me, but you don't have to look a certain way. You know what I mean?
But as a father, like, you love it. You're like, yo, what's going on over here? This is fantastic. I mean, so I think that, that idea, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and where we're at, I remember midway through the pandemic, we had an all staff and I loved it. They were talking about, feel free to fail. Like that was kind of like the idea.
It's like,
just
go after it.
Do it.
Yeah.
You know
what
I'm saying?
I love that about our house.
Stuff is freedom. And I was like, yo.
You shouldn't have been.
Now you're speaking my language. And so, I mean, that freedom exists, within the heart of God. Like he welcomes us. Like, do this. We're doing this together. Like, I'm not worried about that perfection. You know what I mean? Like that perfection messes with us. You
absolutely.
You already know.
And I think one of the things, bro, that I want to know your thoughts on, like, as the church, we used to be on the super forefront. Take them slippers off, bro. You done with it? It's a wrap.
Go ahead.
As on the church, we used to be like on the forefront, like as in like the overall church, like Renaissance, all that stuff like that. Something happened, we decided to take a step back. The world's creativity, which the world is creative, it took at the front. Church has always taken a backseat lately. I feel like what COVID has done for the creative side of the church, it's enabled it to actually become on the forefront again. Because with everything else pausing, the church is going to keep going because it's people.
Oh yeah.
So, bro, what do you think the Lord's trying to do creatively in the church right now? It's like your production company, Starlight Creative Studio, right?
Yeah.
I think just hearing that, my mind goes into like a different direction. Like I could just think of what it could look like. What do you think the church is doing? Like, what do you think the Lord's trying to breathe into the church that maybe we need to catch on? Or maybe people watching are creative pastors or creative team or just someone who likes to create stuff. Like, what does that look like?
I think it looks like shifting perceptions.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Perceptions of what?
Perceptions of, how we see, our world, how we see our environment, how we see the people around us. It's not always as cut and dry as we might think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this last season has showed us that, we could all be looking at the same picture, but it's, I'm looking at it in 2D, some like 3D, some seeing the shadow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out Putty.
Right.
You know what
Shout
I'm saying?
out Putty's message.
We're not all seeing the same things. So I think creativity in the church is really going to help align and bring into focus some of the way we interpret what's happening in our world. You know what I mean? And I think the church has always been about connecting. To the heart of the Father first and foremost, and being that contextual through line, you know what I mean? Because God is, and God is also outside of the church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Am I allowed to say that? I don't know.
I mean, I think the concept people think are God only moves inside the building, but like God exists everywhere.
Yeah, God is, so God is going to be in places that church folks might not want to go to, and they don't need to, but God is there. And there are people who belong to the church who are going there. And that's an aspect of creativity.
Absolutely. And I love that, bro, because I think, our church is in a series right now, Naturally Supernatural, and I think one of the cool things about being naturally supernatural and creative is that's the only way you can authentically be creative, I think. Because if a supernatural God created our natural world, you need both.
You better keep speaking.
You know what I mean? Like, no, but for real, like, you're a byproduct of a supernatural word that came into a natural realm. So for us being creative, and like I think everyone on the planet is creative to an extent.
Oh yeah.
I think some are called to create futures and some are called to create present moments, like big different things.
Yeah.
We need everybody. But I think like the process that people get hung up on is like, I think it's so easy to do stuff without Holy Spirit sometimes. That like, you're like, oh, well, you know, I got you, Lord, next project kind of a thing. You know what I mean? I got you in next project.
Yeah.
When the reality is like, the only reason why you had that thought was from him.
Yeah.
And that's why I mean, like, catching the streaks of light.
Yeah.
Like we were watching Star Wars. I got Kirsten to watch.
Move and have our being.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, you know, you might think you're doing it outside
but you're not.
them, but
you know what I mean? Like we watched The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Great show. I finally convinced the beta to watch it. It's fine.
I'll keep my comments.
But you know when they go into like, what is it, like hyperspace or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden all things like or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching that, I was like, man, if we just slow down, those things would come into focus. Like, so it's living in the tension of creating your future, but enjoying the present with the Father at the
if
same
we
time.
slow down, huh?
Right.
Speak on that.
No,
What you mean
speak
slow
on that.
down?
What you mean by
slow down?
No, but I think like, I think we're so, sometimes we can get so caught up creating the future that we forget the one who holds it is in your present right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just what my thought is like, we get so caught up creating the future, which I think we should.
Yeah.
I think he gave that gift to us, that we forget he's the one who holds the future is living in your present moment too. And so it's like, you have the ability to slow down and be like, man, that sunset is pretty, or that tree is pretty, or that flower is pretty, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But
no, that resonates with me in a lot of different ways. Slowing down is, I thought that maybe COVID was going to be kind of a forced e-break, so to speak. And it was for some, but in other ways it accelerated the workload.
I mean, this was birthed out of a pandemic.
People. Yeah, which is not all bad, you know what I'm saying? But the slowing down, for me primarily, I feel like, you know, that the Lord has been speaking to me in my household is, yo, man, like, you kids, they love you, you love them, but there's this like natural like excitement, creativity, that comes out of like messing with them, you know, building forts, you know, creating stuff. Like it's just so much like
or when you build something, they're like, whoa,
oh man,
you know?
like anything you do, like
it's like majestic.
Oh man, like I can't lose.
Right. It's like the only game you can't lose.
Yeah, I can't lose. It's like anything I do, they're going to love, which is fantastic. But that slow down process, like, it recharges and refuels me. And like, more than actually hanging out by myself. I'm an introvert and I need to hang out by myself. But like, it's surprising. You know, we kick it, you know what I mean? And so slowing down. I mean, when you said that, I was like, okay.
Lord, I hear it again.
There might be something there.
Right. But I think the misconception or the pitfall, bro, is like we slow down for a season and speed up in the next. And I think if he's trying to get us to slow down, it's like he's trying to have us model a life of rest. You know. Yeah. And I think it's so easy. You know, we err on one side of the prophetic or the programmed. And some is like, and some people are just bent to one side or the other.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have people around you that help you find the middle. You know, Vineyard is very much about the radical middle.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to cut you off.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm just thinking a lot. So, I mean, just to put it plainly, there's a lot of variables and factors, you know what I mean? Like, because there's aspects of while we're busy, you know, that we're adults and we have families and we need to find economic opportunities. You know what I'm saying, to provide. And you know, that adds to, you know, the busyness. And I think there's always balance, right, in life. Yeah. But I think having an understanding of set times, you know, set time aside, intentional times to slow down, intentional times to dig in. I think that's the rhythm of life that, you know, that there actually could be some real gold there, you know what I'm saying? I ain't found it yet.
I'm still digging.
You know, I find I can give advice really well.
Yeah, right. But doesn't mean I'm doing it, you know. I think one of the biggest things, bro, Yes, this will be it, and then I'll have you pray over people, and we'll play 5 for 5.
We just got started, bro. You
tripping? We just going. Again, being prophetically programmed. Why I love that title is because program means it's like it's set. The prophetic is programmed in every one of us, right? When you say yes to Jesus, I believe it gets activated and turned on. We see a story in the Bible where someone's doing the exact same thing the disciples are, but he just doesn't believe in Jesus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, boom, changes the game, you know? So I believe the prophetic is activated crazily when you say yes to Jesus, and I believe you can't turn it off. I think people think you can, but you can't. But bro, Rich, what is some things that you feel like, just real quick, bro, for like 60 seconds, if you can encourage someone else, you just encourage me being prophetically programmed, what would it be? I mean, it's for me, but it's for everybody, you know, watching. But like, what would it be to help you put like a person in front of you?
I say you're doing a good job, bro.
Okay.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard. You're juggling a lot, but you're doing great. You're navigating it well. It's a journey.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all good. It's a journey. You know what I'm saying? And
it is.
You're navigating it with the Father. You're not by yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my biggest thing I want to encourage you.
Yeah.
You know, you can't lose.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah. Would you actually pray that over people, bro?
I just did.
No, do it again. Do it again.
All right,
Let them go.
Cool.
Come on.
No, straight up. God, I thank you for the gift of creativity. I thank you for the, fingerprint of your nature in all of us. And I bless that in everybody that's listening. And I just, I cover that and I seal that. The enemy wants to steal that. And I just declare any work of the enemy to steal or take away your idea of your creativity. I just declare it null and void right now in the name of Jesus. I just want to encourage you in the name of Jesus and say you're doing a great job. Keep going. You can't lose. I'm very, very proud of you. The Father's proud of you. We're cheering you on. Keep doing it. Keep trying things and keep going out there. Keep putting yourself out there too. You know what I'm saying? That one's for me. Amen.
All right, bro. Thanks for joining us. We're going to play 5 for 5 real quick. You're not welcome. I didn't like this.
I'm not polite. Sorry.
We're going to play 5 for 5, bro. First word, Kobe
Bryant.
I literally thought you were going to say Mamba.
Nah, it's just, it's literally the first word. I didn't want to think about it too much.
Okay.
I might start crying.
Next word is Vineyard.
Church.
Church.
I mean, church, when I say church, it's fam, I'm saying? Church.
It's fam. All right, third, Cassie.
Baby.
Hey.
You better chill out with all those.
Fourth word, creativity.
Us. I don't know why. Us.
I love that. Just like humanity.
Yeah, the first words is like us. All right, cool.
I love that. Last one, bro. This podcast.
That was 3.
It's fine. No, I did 4. Man, don't trip me up. He's living his dream right now, Ryan. He's living his dream. All right, last one. The Vineyard Collective Podcast. That's a bunch of words. What do you think of it?
Oh, man. Possibilities.
Hey, guys, thanks so much for joining us this week. Like and subscribe. Comment down below if you want us to bring guests on or any topic ideas.
But you don't really have to.
You ain't got to do that.
I'm just trying to mess up.
You can email Rich
as much as possible.
No, but please
don't do that.
Like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend if this blessed you. We love you. Be creative. Peace.